Welcome to another edition of WashCo Weekly. I am Josh Schoemann, Washington County Executive, and I'm here today in the city of West Bend, near Old Barton, at the Firefighters Memorial Bluff. And I thought this was a perfect spot to have another conversation about fire and EMS, because we're having lots of them all across the county with chief elected officials, fire chiefs, municipal administrators, and you've seen several articles in my newsletter over the last several years about this issue and us tackling it. So I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the challenges we're facing, because this week our Public Safety Committee here in Washington County is going to hear for the first time a briefing from our Chief Public Safety Officer, Dave Sager, on the work that has been done with that task force. And it's been really, really rewarding. First of all, we had a study that was done by a national firm. Those study results came out probably about a year and a half ago now. And this task force has been really talking about how can we work together to better collaborate with one another amongst all 13 fire and EMS departments, amongst all 20 municipalities and the county. And it's been an ongoing dialogue. Now there's about 5 main goals, and I want to read them to you because I think they're really important, that we have really been focused in on. The first is to mitigate the long-term cost to you, the taxpayers of Washington County. The second, proliferate our volunteer and paid on-call fire and EMS to the greatest extent we possibly can. So many volunteers and volunteer firefighters and paid on-call EMS folks have made a huge difference over the years, and we want to continue that proud tradition. Preserve satisfactory levels of EMS across all of Washington County, and that means different things in different communities. Of course, here in West Bend, that's a full-time firefighter, paramedic level service. In different communities, that means fully volunteer. And we've got everything in between. We want to help proliferate that for the next generation and beyond. Relieve municipal fiscal pressure and preserve local control at the municipal level. It's a huge part of how our conversation has evolved, and I want to talk about that in just a second. And then finally, provide a fiscally sustainable methodology to be able to provide it all. So here's a few key things to think about. First of all, the age of our county is growing. The age is. Population ever so slightly, but we're getting older as a county. Our call volume for fire and EMS in particular, has gone up exponentially. In the last 10 years, we've seen about a 50% increase in calls. We expect another 50 to 100% increase in the next 10 years or so. Significant increase. The age of our volunteers and our firefighters and paramedics is increasing year over year, and the number of volunteers and paid on call is dwindling. It's getting harder to find people who have the time, talent, and even treasure to be able to help out. All of those things are kind of coming together at the same time, and this task force is really trying to figure out not how to solve all of those problems, but what things can we do together, and what things can the county do to help mitigate them and buy us more time. This task force has been working now for several months, and the Public Safety Committee presentation that'll happen tomorrow is just the very first step in a sequence of months that are to come. Now we're trying to move steadily along in this process. We've got certain municipalities, the city of Hartford, who's really looking down the barrel of the possibility of a big referendum if we don't do anything. We've had other referendums in the not too distant past, like the Village of Richfield and the Village of Germantown. And what we know from the data from our municipal partners and our fire departments is in the next 5 years, 8 of our 13 departments and their respective communities may also see a referendum. When you look at it holistically, we asked all 13 departments and 20 municipalities, what do the expenses look like in the next 5 and 10 years if we just keep doing what we're doing? And the answers are pretty disconcerting. In the next 5 years, we can expect somewhere between a $7 and $10 million increase in expenses if we just keep on the same path. In the next 10 years, it could be as much as $20 million. Multiple referendums in those scenarios, and a lot more full-time paid staff. Huge challenge for our county. So we continue the dialogue. I've had lots of conversations with lots of municipalities, lots of fire chiefs. It may take us longer than we initially thought, but we are working hard to put you, the taxpayers of Washington County, first, and to put your safety at the very front of our highest priorities. And you know, if you've watched these videos, a safe and secure community is the highest priority for Washington County government. So stay tuned in the weeks and months ahead. Check out that Public Safety Committee, watch newspaper articles as they come out, and talk to your local elected officials about what are the things that we can do together to mitigate that $10 or $20 million increase in the next 5 or 10 years by working together and partnering with one another. The answers aren't going to be easy, but the only way we're going to be able to do it is by doing it together. Tune in next week for the next WashCo Weekly. We'll see you next time.